Shokro Production presents History of Bukhara, Episode 1, 11 Gates.
Bukhara is an ancient city which emerged in the middle of the first millennium BC. The age of Bukhara is more than 2,500 years. In the middle of the 9th century, under the ownership of Tahirids, 1820 to 873, an external wall was built around the Bukhara. Within its borders were the Shahristan, citadel, Bazarmax, and a cemetery to the north of it. 11 gates were installed in the outer wall of the city. The city walls were fortified under Karahanids and Khorazm Shah Muhammad, destroyed in 1220 by the army of Genghis Khan, later restored and fortified by the Timurids Ulugh Bek and Ibrahim Sultan. Of 11 gates, only 2 have remained: Talipach and Karakul. 4 have been recreated: Samarkand, Hazrat Imam Sheikh Jalal and the Salahan. 5 are lost: Shergiron, Mazar Sharif, Uglon, Namozgh and the Karshi gates. Talipach Gate, erected in the second half of the 16th century under Uzbek ruler Abdullah Khan II, on the southwestern part of the Bukhara fortress wall, at that time the capital of the Bukhara Khanate. It is one of the well-remained and the 11 of existing gates of Bukhara. The main water artery, Canal Shahrut, went out near the gates. The gate was restored in 2005. The fortress walls were built from ordinary earthen ramparts, pasa blocks with other bricks. The length of the defensive structures at that time was about 9 kilometers. The city walls were not built in form of the ring, but were a feature of irregular shape, since during their construction it was necessary to protect not only Bukhara itself but all its suburbs, or the so-called rabbits, from raids. Later, Shahristan began to be called Shahri Darun, inner city. The area outside the wall, Shahri Birun, outer city. Funds for the construction of defensive structures were allocated by the rulers of that time. In particular, Emir Abdullah Khan II from Shaybani dynasty greatly contributed to strengthening the defense of the city. Well, and save money on the craftsmen, all ordinary residents of Bukhara were involved in this activity when building walls and gates. Each local citizen had to work the required number of hours on the construction. Just beside the gate and the staircases, there is a small room where the warriors kept their bows with arrows and swords with shields. And of course, not far from the gate, they had a stable to be able to ride on horseback and get quickly to the ruler of the city, if anything is happening. Talipach Gate is undoubtedly a unique architectural historical monument of the past, which has preserved its historical and cultural significance with the help of architectural features that carry all of its visitors into medieval times. Karakul is the second well-remained gate erected in the second half of the 16th century, in the period of 1558-1575. Under Uzbek ruler Abdullah Khan II, it's also one of the gates to which the main forces of the Red Army were directed, under the command of Mikhail Vasilovich Frunze, renovated in 1975. The gate got its name from the city of the same name, Karakul, through which the merchants passed when came to Bukhara from the Middle and the Near East. The architectural monument is included in the National List of Real Estate and Cultural Heritage of Uzbekistan and is a part of Historical Center of Bukhara, included in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It's currently a tourist attraction. The state program provided for research, major recovery and the restoration of the gate in 2019. The Sheikh Jalal Gate was located on the southwestern part of the fortress wall. The time of the construction of this gate dates back to the 16th century, during the reign of Abdulaziz Khan. Abdulaziz Khan was a student of Sheikh Jalal. In honor of his teacher, the ruler built these gates. The upper part of the gate consisted of a crown, Gul Taj. Also near these gates were built a house, minaret and the Moscow room. Due to unsatisfactory attention, they fell into disappear. This is one of 4 recreated gates in pre-destroyed form. They stood until 1968 and were destroyed under Soviet rule. Gate was recreated 2008-2009. The Salahan Gate was first erected in the second half of the 16th century on the southwestern part of the fortress wall. The gate was 11 meters high and 21 meters wide. They were 2 tiered, in which they had watch towers. Due to the construction of the city and the huge growth of transport on May 17, 1939, the city council was allowed to demolish the city gates with the walls. As a break on traffic in the city, gate was recreated in October 2009. The location of each gate and its role were determined by the roads which passed them, connecting the city with the rest of the world. The Samarkand gate was named after the city of the same name. The main traffic was going through them. The gate was erected on the northwestern part of the fortress wall in the second half of the 16th century. The gate was made up of arches and tympanion, had several windows and were walled facing slabs, round column guldasta, and the upper part of the gate had a pericular ornament. Gate was demolished on May 17, 1939 and decorated in January 2009. To the most important mazar of Bukhara, the grave of Abu Hafiz Kabir, led the gate Hazrat Imam. There was widespread belief among Bukharans that on the day of the resurrection of dead, the door of paradise would open from Bukhara. From the Imam gate who helps in need, there were 3 stories high. From the entrance of the gate on the right side, there were stalls selling equipments for the horses and carts. On the left side, there was a barn and well with drinking water. Until the 8th century, the gate was called the New Gate, Darwaza now. Then was renamed as the Gate of Abu Hafiz Kabir Bukhari, shortly Hazrat Imam. Destroyed on May 17, 1939 and decorated in September 2009. So, we came to the place where one of 5 lost gates was standing in the past. The Mazar-i-Sharif gate was located on the eastern part of the fortress wall, on the track of the ancient Kalabot gate. Rebuilt in 1572, the gate became known as the Mazar-i-Sharif. Under rule of Abdullah Khan II, construction works were carried out to widen the road from Bukhara to the main shrine of the city, to the Mazar of Khoja Bahauddin Naqshbandi. It was right next to Mazar Gate. The Canal Shahrud flowed through the city and supplied with water. It was a fairly large opening that ran under the city wall and installed the metal grill which prevented anyone from entering the city. The gate was destroyed in 1939 on May 17. The second of the 5 lost gates, the Karshi Gate, or another name of this gate Kawola, was located on the eastern part of the city wall near the Mazar-i-Sharif gate. This gate got its name from the city of the same name, with which Bukhara had a constant connection. Through them went the main traffic. During the storming of Old Bukhara by the Red Army under the command of Mikhail Frunze on August 29 to September 2, 1920, the main attack of attacking forces came precisely to the Karshi Gate. The property of many Bukharans burned down and many families died. The gate was demolished in 1939 on 17th May. The third of the 5 lost gates, the Namozgov Gate, was located on the southern fortress wall of the city. The gate got its name from the Moscow of the same name. Namozgov, located half kilometer to the southwest from this gate. The highway of the Namozgov Gate was more intense, since in addition to the annual prayers in Jumahon, outside the city wall on the Wall Square there was a Rams Bazaar, and on some holidays there was a folk amusement, goat picking, Korbari. The gate was demolished in 1939. The fourth of the 5 lost gates, the Shergiron Gate, was located on the western part of the fortress wall. It was built in the 16th century by the ruler Abdullah Khan. The residents of the city went through these gates to Chorbakir. A special type of Bukhara streets were carried with canopies, which protected pedestrians from rain, snow and the summer heat. Such canopies were arranged only where the trading rows were located. From the Shergiron Gate to the Mir Dostum Moscow, the stalls were located where the fruits, vegetables and the milk production were sold, day and night. Demolished in 17th May 1939. And finally, the last of the 5 lost, and the 11 of the existing gates of Bukhara. The Oolong Gate was located on the northwestern part of the fortress wall, not far from the Talipach Gate. The gate was named after Saint Ulunato. Ulunato was one of the holy people of Bukhara. Near these gates were built a Moscow, small madrasa, and there was also a tomb of Ulunato. In the Middle Ages through the Oolong Gate, as well as from the Talipach Gate, rich trade caravans headed towards the ancient cities Rometan, Warakhsha, and then through the San to the Haryazm. In 1948-1950, the cemetery, Moscow, madrasa and the Oolong Gate were completely destroyed. That was 11 Gates of Bukhara. It was my pleasure to show and tell you about the history of Bukhara. Stay tuned, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.